Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. So, Canada had its prime minister election yesterday, and they chose Mark Carney over Pierre Poilievre. And this is not super surprising, but this is not good for Canada. It really isn't. And the future of Canada is looking pretty bleak. They just got done with multiple years of Trudeau, who ruined Canada's economy, or basically ruined the country. It's been on a downward slope for a long time. And the people looked at that and said, more of that, please. They voted another liberal candidate in. Now, Pierre wasn't going to be like amazing or anything, but this Mark Carney guy is a diehard globalist. He wants to seize more control of the economy. He wants to stop energy production. He is going to be in favor of mass migration. And eventually, your country is going to hit a point of no return where people believe that no matter what happens, we can always salvage it. We can always bring it back. It's like, no, in terms of countries, eventually you hit a point where there's nothing that can be done. You either total economic collapse, total demographic collapse. Canada's facing both. Trying to cut themselves off from the U.S. out of spite. I mean, people are saying that this is a total rejection of Trump, which it probably is. Because Pierre is kind of Trump's friend, is sort of candidate he propped up. And the Canadians are mad at Trump because he wanted to take over Canada. And the Canadians said they've actively made the decision that we would rather live a couple more years as a free nation of Canada and then just completely throw our country away, completely throw it down the drain, than live a comfortable life under U.S. rule. They would rather destroy their country than let Trump have it. That's the Canadian attitude. And that arrogance, that spite is going to bite them in the butt. It's going to destroy the country. This continued push for globalism, this continued push for mass migration, for total economic control, it hasn't worked. And it's going to destroy the country. I mean, he's even talking about, Mark Carney is talking about doing a dollar for dollar retaliation on Trump's tariffs. You're not going to win. You're not that great. Sorry. Canada is a small country. Economically, it's not very strong. It has no military that could compete with any major power. Canada exists because the other powers allow it to exist, frankly. And if they want to pick a fight with the US, if they want to do everything they can to spite Trump, it's probably not going to fly very well. And life in Canada is going to get worse. And their arrogance and their spitefulness towards Americans will be their downfall. That's unfortunate. And they may say, well, Trump started this fight and, he was a bad neighbor first. And, that's kind of true. It's not the best thing in the world to say you want to basically annex a whole other country. But fundamentally, if you're a small country like Canada is, and I'm not talking about size-wise, like demographically, militaristically, economically, you're a tiny country. You have no say in what happens to you. And if you didn't prepare for events to come in the future, if you didn't prepare for a storm, when it happens, because inevitably the world shakes up, countries try to invade each other, the economy, collapses. If you don't prepare for those things ahead of time, you're going to get swept up in it. And at a certain point, when the storm's on you and you have no preparations, there's nothing you can do. And so part of preparation is making sure it's done ahead of time. Like, you can't just always reverse things. You can't always pull them back. And I think Canada seems to think that everything's malleable. Like, they can, no matter how much they actively try to destroy their country, it'll never completely fail. And I don't think that's the case. And I think this just shows the Canadian people made the wrong choice picking Mark Carney. And we'll see what happens from here. But fundamentally, this spitefulness towards Americans, this total rejection of like Trump's nationalistic populist push, kind of retake the imagery of America and Canada and what it means to be American, what it means to be Canadian, in favor of globalism. They've chosen their side, they've made their bed, and they're going to have to lay in it. That's the reality of the situation. So it's not looking great for Canada. If you thought things were bad under Trudeau, why throw up the same guy, basically from the same party? It beats me. I don't get it. I don't understand the Canadians' way of thinking. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. I just don't feel very optimistic about it. I wish the best for Canada. I hope nothing bad happens to them. But you can't keep doing the same thing if it's not working. The empty promises that the government and this Liberal Party continues to push have never been fulfilled. Housing is worse than it's ever been. The economy is worse than it's ever been. The job market's worse than it's ever been. And the satisfaction of life in Canada is decreasing. And yet they want to keep doing the exact same thing that's led them to that place. So I don't know if it's spite. I don't know if they're not that smart. I don't know what the idea behind this is. But eventually, like even with the voting, when you bring in enough people that want a more liberal government, that want to completely destroy the fabric of the old Canadian nation, those people, their vote counts the same as yours. And if they get the majority, they'll bring in more people who want to do that. And they'll just be a point of no return. You'll never be able to fix it with elections because the outcome will be predetermined, basically, that it will continue to get more and more liberal, more and more globalist. The fabric of what it means to be a Canadian will just totally evaporate, totally disintegrate, and you'll be left with a former husk of a nation basically turned into an economic zone, and then even that will collapse over time. And that's the thing Trump wants to stop here. He's making efforts to. Is he doing the best job? Not exactly. Some good things, some bad things, but at least there's like an effort. In the American spirit, they want to bring back the American spirit. Like the Americans are desiring to take their country back, to regain national pride, to expand the American empire, to bring back the American economy, to reject globalism, reject relativism, bring back Christianity, do all these things that really benefit the people. And Canada wants to do the complete opposite. And it's going to be a good reflection on which way is the proper way to go as like a Western country, because Canada and America are basically the same culturally. Like fundamentally, they're like 99% the same. So if one goes full nationalist, populist, and the other one goes full liberal, full globalist, and we can just witness in real time where those roads lead, it might be a good reflection for the rest of the Western world to say, okay, which way do we want to go? Because we're at that tipping point where either we give full control to the globalists or we take full independence for ourselves, bring back our identity, and shut out the rest of the ideas of the world and regain our cultural country identity to all these Western nations. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, how this plays out, if the Canadians will immediately have regret over the choices they made or not, or if they're willing to stand in their sinking ship because they don't want to be saved by Trump. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. So thank you if you made it all the way through the video. I appreciate it. If you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.